Good afternoon. Give me one moment. All right, looks like I'm live here. My camera view is different today. I haven't changed my camera stand, so I'm not sure what's going on. It's like a wider view, so it's kind of strange. But anyway, hopefully you can see all right. Good afternoon. I'm Carol Buckalew with Inky Bee Stampers. I am a Stampin' demonstrator here in the US. Let me see here. I see some people watching, but no comments, so let me know. There you are, Mary. Hi. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. All right, so I have a faux tile card here for you today. Oh, gosh, you can see my, I'm going to move my camera back. Well, that didn't work. Bear with me. Oh, my goodness. One more. Let's see here. I see my video blipping too. Hey, Faith, thanks for joining. Oh, thank you. I like it too. So basically, the faux tile card, this was one panel. It looks Carol Smith good. I think you meant to say it looks good, Carol. I don't know. But so this was one white panel that I stamped on, and then I cut it apart into 6 1.5-inch squares. I matted them and I put it on a card front. I was looking at this card and I'm like, this is just plain cardstock back here. And I'm like, well, maybe I should do something with it on the second go around. You can let me know what you think. I kind of like it. But if you think the background, the mat there needs a little something, let me know. My camera looks really weird today. I don't know what the heck's going on with it. All right, so products. I use the Sea Turtle stamp set. This is a carryover in the annual catalog. This is just such a pretty set. And it's not exactly two-step stamping. I'm not sure what you call it, but like the stamps, so for instance, this large turtle stamp, and he is large, this side stamps the detail, and then you can clean the stamp off, turn it over, and stamp a solid image on top. And so the images are symmetrical. I think that's the word I want to use. Yeah, my camera is looking so weird. I don't know, guys, I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did, but I did something. And then I used sentiments from the Unbounded Love stamp set, and I used the smallest circle die to cut out my sentiment for the front of the card. This is the Unbounded Love dies. If you don't have this bundle right here, you need it. There are some awesome sentiments in this stamp set, and then look at all the beautiful dies to cut out your sentiment. So this is kind of one of those, get it while you can and keep it in your stash because it's just beautiful. All right, let's get started because I've got a lot of stamping to do. Let me get my pieces out here. You like it the way it is, Mary. Reversibles, thank you. Reversible stamps, that makes perfect sense. Don't let me forget my embellishments. I don't think I'll forget them, but let's hope not. All right, we have a lot of stamping to do. So here is the panel that I'm going to use to create my faux tiles. And this panel measures 4.5 by 3 inches. So when I put it in my paper trimmer, which I think I buried, I'm going to have to dig it out. I'm going to turn it on the short end and I'm going to cut down at 1.5 inches. And then each of those strips will be cut at 1.5 and 3 inches to give me the 6 tiles that I need. All right, so let's get started. I've got about 6 different ink colors here. I am going to stamp the detail of the turtle in Coastal Cabana ink. This is one of my favorite summertime colors. And I'm going to stamp the detailed side of the turtle. Ink him up good here. He's so big that he doesn't fit on the stamp pad. And I'm going to stamp him kind of entering up here from the bottom, just kind of like, maybe get a little more of his foot on there. Just kind of like that. Give that a minute to transfer, and look at that beautiful bright color. Isn't that gorgeous? So pretty. I definitely love Coastal Cabana. I'm just, those blue-green colors, which I used on this card. Pretty Peacock is another one of my faves, and that's the card base on today's card. I'm going to close this up so I do not get my fingers in it, and then I'm going to grab Pool Party for the fill on the turtle. Yeah, I just love these blue-green colors so much. And I love ocean-themed cards. Oh, look what I did. Okay, well, don't do that. I inked up the detailed side, and I needed to flip the stamp over. So let me clean that up one more time here. Oops. Whoops. All right. Let's flip this guy over. Just like that. And now we're going to ink the completely flat side of this stamp up in Pool Party. Yeah, you kind of have to ink this guy up in sections. And I'm just going to pull this to me just ever so slightly. If I don't get it exact, it's okay. I'd like to get it as accurate as possible, though. And I think that looks good. And I'm just going to give that lighter ink a minute to transfer to that paper. There we go. Okay. I can put the big turtle away and the Pool Party ink away. And now I'm going to grab some Balmy Blue ink. And, whoops, I need to clean that. This is my second largest block, and I only have one. And to be honest with you, I don't know if I want to get a second one, just because it takes up space, but I'm going to just set that aside and get my large bubble stamp. And this is the detailed side of the bubbles. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink this up. And then I am going to, now, I have trouble with this stamp sometimes, stamping correctly. I'm going to second generation stamp bubbles across my panel here. And I probably didn't need to ink up that whole stamp, but that's okay. And I'm stamping off, and I just want to stamp some bubbles around my turtle. Good. The stamp is so large, it's sticking to the ink pad. That's funny. Stamp off. And I'm okay with having some white spaces in here. It's really, whoops. Now, I didn't get an impression on that. And you know what? I'm going to drop this stamp down again, because if these bubbles aren't perfect, hello, Rosie, thanks for joining. It's quite all right. Stamp off, and let's put some more bubbles. Let's put some bubbles down here. All right, and you know what? I need just a little bit of bubble right there, just at the corner. All right, that looks good to me. I'm going to set that stamp aside because I will be using it again. Okay, Pretty Peacock, our fourth ink here. And I am going to stamp the Little School of Fish in Pretty Peacock. And let me see, do they have a right and wrong side? I think they do. But I am going to just stamp some up here above the turtle's head in Pretty Peacock, and I'm going to stamp some coming in over here, and then we're going to stamp some more fishies. Let's stamp some down here at the bottom, kind of going off the edge. Oh, thanks, Mary. It was a lot of fun to make this card. It really was. All right, that is our panel. I'm going to set that aside, let that dark ink dry just a bit, and I'm going to go and grab my inside panel. And on the inside panel, I'm going to leave that pretty peacock open. I have the large starfish image from the Sea Turtle stamp set. Yeah, I do. I like ocean scenes too. They are definitely one of my fave. I've got the detailed image facing up, and I'm going to stamp this detailed image in Calypso Coral. And I'm going to stamp one more right down here. Okay. Let me clean off. You know what? Let me grab my envelope. Did I get my envelope out? I did not get an envelope out, so I've got to grab an envelope. I want to stamp that. This starfish image is one of my favorites in this set. I just think they're so pretty. I follow this lady. Her YouTube channel is SFW Beach Life. And SFW stands for Southwest Florida. And she posts a video once a week, and she goes around to different beaches in Southwest Florida to collect shells, and she identifies the shells for you. And it's just like a very calming video to watch. I love her videos. But she will pick up some of the shells that are inhabited by their little snail residents and show you on the video, and I think it's so cool. But if she finds starfish, she'll pick them up and show you how their little silica are moving, and you know, just it's just kind of a neat thing. All right, I grabbed peach pie ink. Let me flip over my starfish to the flat side, and I am going to second generation stamp the fill on these starfish with peach pie. It's actually stamped off. It's a very complementary color to the Calypso Coral. It's also complementary to pumpkin pie. Really, really like that combo. All right, so we've got some little starfish going here, and I'm going to go ahead and do my inside panel. So I inked up. I'm going to stamp off once and go ahead and fill the starfish image. And one more time. And I just remembered I didn't do the envelope flap. Maybe I'll do something different. Maybe I'll just do something different. All right, I'm going to close that peach pie. I'm done with it. And I'm done with the Calypso Coral, so let's put that away. I still have my pretty peacock open, and I'm going to stamp some more fishes, little school of fish, kind of swimming around our starfish. Just like that. Aren't they cute? They're so cute. All right. So that is our inside panel. Let's get the envelope. And I'm going to do the same thing here, just kind of stamp off part of that image. Stupid fat fingers. I missed that one, Mary. Who's got fat fingers? Me or you? Alrighty, there we go. And I didn't get a solid image there, and I don't have my pretty peacock Stampin' Right marker pulled out right now, but I do have a blender pen handy. So if you kind of don't get a solid image when you're stamping, I just dabbed my blender pen in the pretty peacock ink pad, and I'm just going to brush ink and kind of fill in that image. It's a solid image. So wherever the ink didn't transfer completely, this is a way to fix that, you know, without having to start over. And those images look pretty good. And it looks a little darker right now, but when it dries, it will look just fine. Oh, I need to stamp. I forgot. I need fish on my envelope flap. I did a starfish on my other card, my sample card. I'm just scribbling my blender pen on my scrap paper here, just to clean off that that excess ink. So here's my envelope flap. Let me bring those little fish in one more time. And instead of a starfish on my envelope, I'm going to stamp fishes. Love these little fishes. Okay, there we go. Now, let me see here. I think we need to stamp. Told you there was a lot of stamping. I'm going to stamp the sentiment Hope in Pretty Peacock. And this is the smallest circle from the Unbounded Love dies. And the sentiment is from the Unbounded Love stamp set. And just stamp that on my little circle. Okay, that looks good. I had an extra just in case. And then let me pull back my inside panel one more time. And the sentiment that coordinates with the Hope sentiment says, is believing in a brighter tomorrow. So Hope is believing in a brighter tomorrow. I love the sentiments in Unbounded Love. They're just awesome. All right. Well, let's get our sentiment. And these are photopolymer. So easy to see through. You have fat fingers. Isn't it a great sentiment? And I love the smaller print. I love the script on the outside sentiment, and then the really pretty, font for the inside of the sentiment. And that sentiment, or that stamp set, there's hope, love, faith, peace, best of luck, you're a true blessing, feel better soon, celebrate, hello, may all your wishes come true, happy birthday, with sympathy, little one, you've got this, my heart goes out to you just for you. This literally covers everything. Everything you could possibly imagine, that stamp set covers. And that's why you need it. All right, what am I going to do here? Let's save all of our gluing up for all at once. Hopefully I've got all my little pieces. Oh, more stamping. Forgot something. All right, I need my peach pie. I need one more starfish. Yeah, photopolymers have become my favorite, Faith. I just really like them. The red rubber stamps stamp really beautifully. But if you're challenged like me on lining up sentiments, I'm getting better at it, I will admit. But if you're like me in lining up those red rubber sentiments and getting them straight, that can be a little challenging. So I need a little starfish. I'm actually going to fussy cut a starfish out. So let me get that stamped. So the detail is in Calypso Coral. Clean that off, flip it over. So these are really cool stamps. Reversible, thank you, Mary. Get the solid image, stamp that off once in Peach Pie. And then I'm going to go ahead and fill that little starfish with our peach pie. Now I think I'm done with the inks. I think we got all the stamping done. So if you like to stamp, this is a good card because there's lots of it. And let me clean off that excess ink before I put my fingers in it. I was working, I forget what I was working. Misty Moonlight I had out this morning. Man, did I get that all over myself. I might still have, yeah, I still have a shadow on my thumb of the Misty Moonlight ink, even though I took a shower and washed my hair and everything. All right, I am going to grab my scissors and quickly fussy cut this out. I'm not the best fussy cutter, but this image is super easy to fussy cut. Nice smooth corners, inside and out, so it's quite easy. And I am moving my hand that is holding the paper, and I'm keeping my scissors stationary. And I'm just taking my time because I am not I have seen, I have a team member who flies through fussy cutting, and she does it so perfectly. And I'm really envious of her that she has that ability. And, you know, I do it often enough, but I don't know. I just seem to have to take my time, but that's okay. We're not in a huge rush here, so. It might be a little painful for you guys having to watch this, but I'm getting there. 2 more little feet to go on my starfish. And I'm trying to leave an even amount of white around my starfish. And you know what? As long as it doesn't look choppy, I think it's fine if you get more or less. All right, last little foot. And if you're commenting, I'm sorry, I'm focusing and I can't read your comments right this second. All right, shoo, made it through that. And he's not too bent up, so that's good. All right, now I need to go unbury my paper trimmer. Bear with me here a second. I always take my paper trimmer off of my desk when I'm doing a video, but I forgot I needed it. Okay, so I'm looking for my stamped panel here, my 4.5 by 3 inch panel. I'm going to turn this up on the short side, and I'm going to line it up at 1.5 inches, and I'm going to slice down the center of that panel. So that leaves me with 2 strips, and I need to cut these strips at 1.5 inches. So I'm going to cut, whoops, trying to line that up so that it's pretty accurate. 1.5, and then again at 1.5. Whoops. I cleaned all my stamp blocks this morning, my scissors, it just moved on me, my paper trimmer, and my paper trimmer is a little slick here. I guess maybe those little smudges of glue on my paper trimmer helped hold the paper in place, because right now they are slipping and sliding. All right, I'm just going to lay these little panels out in the order that they need to be, and we'll cut the second strip into 1.5 inch squares. Yeah, remembering how to use scissors in kindergarten and coloring inside the lines and all that good stuff. I used to love when they let us play with glue. I know some kids ate it. I never ate the glue, but it was fun when you got to paste stuff, right, when you were a little kid. Okay, so I've got 6 pretty peacock mats here in, and these are 1 5/8 by 1 5/8 inches. And so we're going to do a bit of gluing up here. And I'm going to start with my first square. So I kind of have my squares laid out in order here, and I want to keep them in that order. Although I think it would be fairly easy to put the puzzle back together again, if you will. All right, and I'm just going to, that does not look right. That does not look right. What did I do? Something's wrong here. Yeah, that is not the right size. I'm wondering if that is a little leftover piece. Those are all the same. 1 5/8. Yeah, something is not right here. Oh, don't you hate that? Sorry, guys. It looks like I did not cut these to the right size. So I've got 1 5/8, and yeah, I didn't cut these to the right size. So I need to trim them all down. This one has a little bit of glue on it. It's a little sticky, but we'll make it work. Huh, I wonder how well, that's what happens when you're doing this stuff first thing in the morning before you've had a full cup of coffee. That's pretty much my story, and I'm sticking to it. So that's 1 5/8. That is not. No, that is 2. Huh. That's weird. Okay. 1 5/8. 1 5/8. I'm wondering if it was just that one. 1 5/8. 1 5/8. I mean, these look like, yeah. Yeah, these, okay. Maybe it was just that one. Although it looked like I had more than one that was kind of off. All right, let's try this again. How did my little, okay, it goes that way. Put a little bit more glue on here. Although this glue, once it dries, the Tombow glue, you can put it on something, don't adhere it to whatever you're working on, let it dry a little bit, and it becomes a removable glue. So very handy. All right, let's hope that the rest of the panels line up and we don't have any more problems. Now I've just lost a panel. Are you kidding me? Oh, okay, I'm good. Whew. See, I'm starting to second guess myself. And I'm just trying to get an equal reveal around those panels as best I can. The dogs have been, since we've had such hot weather, they haven't been wanting to really go outside very often. It's given me a break a bit. But they are funny. Like, you have to make them go down in the grass to go do their business. They've been, they do not like the heat. Although the goofballs will sit on the deck in the sun. It kills me. And then they're all overheated when they come in. So I guess the sun feels good on their bones, but at the same time, they're grateful to be able to sit in air conditioning. I feel bad for people in these heat waves that don't have air conditioning. I think most people do these days, but you know, there might be some folks who don't have it, and I can't even imagine what that must be like. I mean, I remember growing up, we didn't have air conditioning, and if it was hot, it was hot. You just kind of, you stayed outside in the shade, or you sat in front of a fan. That was your options when it was real hot. I can remember my grandmother got a new stove, and I can remember that my grandfather hooked the old stove up in the basement for her. They did a lot. They always had a huge garden, and she did a lot of canning. My grandfather didn't can, but she did a lot of canning, and she would make apple butter. Well, apple butter cooks a really long time, and it makes a mess. It splatters. So he put the stove down in the basement for her. So when she was putting out applesauce or making apple butter or something like that, you know, she would go down to the basement to do that, where it was nice and cool. Okay. We're getting there, guys. We are getting there. I promise. Oh, Buffy doesn't understand why she can't walk to the mailbox with you. Yeah, because the asphalt gets way too hot for their little paws. Sometimes I will hose down the deck for the girls. So it's just our deck that they have to walk on. And then the grass. So it's not too bad for them. I like to do these little cheats because I'm not great lining stuff up, but I am going to mark 3/8 of an inch in on my panel here. just to help me line up these tiles. And did I get that correct? Yep, okay. And let me do the other side here. But this, so the panel comes in about 3/8 of an inch, top and bottom. So hopefully this will help me. Oh, I didn't mark the right side. You goof. It helps to mark the right side. Yeah, I'm just not the greatest at eyeballing where to line up, and this just helps me make sure that I'm getting it lined up. So we're going to go ahead and start putting on our panels onto our mat. If I miss saying hello to anybody else, sorry about that. Looks like we lost somebody. And I'm coming in about 1/8 of an inch there on the side. And I'm just going to hold that up and make sure that I've got it kind of lined up. That corner needs, whoops. This is why I like glue. Looks like I lost somebody. Alrighty. Get our next panel glued up. And I've got about, you know what? I'm gonna, what do I want to do here? I'm not going to stick that down super hard. And I'm going to try to be quick to get my, this is probably the toughest part about the card. The stamping and all that is easy. Getting these panels lined up so that they're somewhat even, and that panel needs to come over. That's why I didn't push it down super hard. But try it, whoops. See what I mean? The glue really lets you get some wiggle room in there. And that looks fairly good to me. It's not perfect, but I doubt anybody's really going to notice. Go ahead and get our remaining panels on. Whoops. And I'm going to put my my right panel on next. That will help me line up that center one. I just didn't have anything to go by with that top row, but now I do. Okay, and then we'll get this last one on. Oh, the video froze. My video on my end keeps blipping, so I'm not, whoops. That one totally turned on me when I wasn't looking. There we go, I think I got it back. That's the only thing with liquid glue, I like it because it gives you wiggle room if you need to move something. However, if a panel moves on you and you're not paying attention, like this one did, okay, we're gonna call that good. Let me cap my glue here for a second. And I am going to take some, yeah, I know, Facebook is really, can be really a nuisance sometimes. Sometimes, you know what I want to do here? I'm going to take a little, this is Stampin' Seal Plus. And right about there, I'm going to put a little Stampin' Seal Plus on the back of my card here. Just to give me something to kind of attach this thread to. Just to kind of hold it while I'm wrapping it. Let me see here. Whoops. Look. It doesn't want to stick. There we go. And I'm going to wrap this right around the center, right between those panels 2 times, not wrapping it super hard. And I'm going to cut that off there. And I'm going to tie a little knot right here on the left side of this panel. And I'm coming in about, I don't know, maybe a little more than 1/4 of an inch to tie that knot. There we go. Okay. I'm going to leave those ends like that. And then I'm going to wrap the linen thread around 3 fingers about 4 times. Right about like that. And I'm just going to kind of put my ends together there. And let me see here, where are my tweezers? I'm going to go ahead and use the ends that I used to tie the first knot to tie a knot around my looped, whoops, and it totally slid on me. Get back here. Actually, I kind of like that. Okay, and I'm just going to tie another knot just to secure that. Linen thread is like one of the all-time best ribbons and trims that we have. I just love it. Especially on nature kind of cards. I almost cut my finger there. I better pay attention to what I'm doing. Okay, we are going to put this on our card front using Stampin' Dimensionals. Thank you, Faith. Can't get the dimensionals to come off the paper. I grabbed an end piece. I usually like to use two-sided piece. They're a little bit easier to peel. All right, let's get this, whoops, get those dimensional covers off. Folks, I'm over 30 minutes. If you need to go and you want to come back later to watch the replay, feel free to do that if you've got something you need to do. Otherwise, I'm going to just keep going. And I'm going to go ahead and line up. I've got about a 1/16 of an inch reveal around my mat. And just get that pushed down. I am going to grab my little eraser because I forgot to erase my pencil marks. We don't want pencil marks showing. I think I got a little heavy-handed with the pencil. There we go. There we go. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pop up my little starfish with Stampin' Dimensionals. And it looks like I'm going to need to grab some more dimensionals. Or just cut them apart. I guess I can just cut them apart here. Maybe just one more on that guy. And we'll get our little starfish popped up on the card front. And we are almost done. All right, I want my bow kind of slanted like that. And I want my starfish slanted. I'm going to put him right about there. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop up the sentiment label as well. And we're almost done. I hear a little bird chirping outside the window here. We've been making sure that they've got water because they have been so hot. And I'm going to drop my sentiment right about there. Okay, inside panel and almost done. Just get this matted up. So, quite a bit of stamping, tiny bit of fussy cutting, little bit of paper trimming and matting. And I really do, I was going to do floral do like a faux tile floral card. And then I remembered the sea turtle set, and it's one of my favorites. Like, I want to use it as much as possible before it retires, just because I think it's so darn pretty. Okay, so I matted up the inside panel to another piece of Coastal Cabana, and I'll just adhere that down with some liquid glue. Look for my reveal on all sides there. That looks good. So that's the inside of our card. And all we need are a few embellishments, and we are done. So the embellishments I used on my sample card were the Petal in Pink foil gems, and they're really pretty. And the Petal Pink kind of coordinates nicely with the peach pie and the Calypso coral. But I just got these, and I think they're really cool. The iridescent adhesive back discs, they're completely flat. And we got kind of a greenish color going here. There's a blue and a green. And I think I'm going to just pop a few of these on just because I love how much sparkle they have. And maybe I'll put one right there on the sentiment. And whoops, I don't know where that one went. It stuck to another one. Come on. Well, shoot, I'll get it later. Let's put another one down here. And maybe we'll do a couple of blue ones. Just because. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put one down here, 5. So I've got some green and blue iridescent. What are these called again? Iridescent adhesive back discs. Very pretty. So that is our card for today. A faux tile card. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Real quick, new online exclusives out in the online store. Be sure to check those out. And bonus days is continuing through July, through the end of July. For every $50 you spend, you can earn a $5 coupon. Those coupons are sent to you via email. Make sure you're using a valid email address, and Stampin' Up! Will email your coupon codes, and then you can redeem those $5 coupon codes in the month of August. So don't miss out on bonus days. It's a good way to get a little bit of savings, and we can all use that nowadays. Thank you so much for joining. I will see you back here next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and wishing you all a great day. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.